This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem. I'm the host, Big B, along with my counterpart halfway around the world, Tim Hendricks. How you doing, the Primus? What's up, buddy?
I'm doing good. Excited for today. I've already got next week's show already kind of in mind. So it's kind of
talking about a teaser there, cliffhanger there. So
yeah, and you nicely leaving backstage, leaving me with a cliffhanger, then just blink off into the show. I'm like, hey.
So first off, let's pay our respects. 1/5 of the Jackson Fives. Tito Jackson passed away yesterday, so hearts goes out to the fans, the family. Just want to wish everybody the best. With that being said, a little recap. If you guys follow my Facebook page, you guys know I had a big day on Sunday. Recapped it on Between the Ropes Sunday night. Me and my son went to wrestling. It was awesome. Got to meet Joe Henry, who is now one half of the MAW Tag Team Champions, with Tim's favorite guy, Joey the Jet Avalon. That Joey Jet will be a household name down the road. I guarantee it. Him and his girlfriend, Sierra. I believe they're dating. I could be wrong on that. But they're always together, so maybe they're just partners in crime. Got to meet Carlisto. Got to meet Jordan Grace, who would be a chick I would not want to mess with. So, but had a great time Sunday. Always looking forward to those types of shows. And if you guys are big fans of wrestling and anywhere near an indie promotion, I would go check it out and just go give your respect to them, because that's how those guys get paid, buying their little merch and stuff like that. So, but without that, let's get into today's list. Today we're doing birthdays. We're going to do some for September. My early prediction here, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we are going to get 5 or 6 out of 6 number ones. By looking at my list, I think we're going to go 6 for 6 on our number ones.
Let me take a look at my.
That's almost going to be a prediction, like who would predict that the Saints would have destroyed the Dallas Cowboys?
Let's just say I'm doubled up on a number one. Oh golly, I don't know. You're muted.
You're doubled up on the number one. Okay, so that favors us a little bit, but
I don't see it, honestly. I don't see if we.
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
If you've got it, then I'll be absolutely shocked. But to go off of what Brandon says, yeah, go to independent shows, the independent wrestling shows, because independent wrestling shows are probably the most pure form of wrestling. They don't have the big money, and you see it. Yeah, they're a little green, but I tell you, some of the best wrestling I've ever seen has been at indie shows. So yeah, just to piggyback off what Big B said.
Yep. All right, so let's get into it. So you're You're going under the 6, but
I'm going under the 6.
we'll see. I'll be surprised if I'll be surprised if we do, and if we do, I'm going to buy me a lottery ticket.
I can't go over the 6.
that is true, but if we get the 6, I will go buy me a lottery ticket.
I'm buying me a lottery ticket too, but I don't know.
All right, so let's start with the 5th. 12 days ago.
Yeah.
So, I think we're going to get. I got a first on this list. The first time I think this type of person has been brought up. So okay. I'll go 3 for sure. Like I said, I'm guaranteeing my number ones.
You're guaranteeing your number ones. Okay, your number ones. I'm gonna say.
Well, I have to. If I said that we're going to get 6.
Yeah, you kind of have to. I'd go 3. I'll go 3. I think it'd be safer.
All right. So what you got for your number 5?
My number 5, if anybody knows my dad, he was a big he loves certain movies. They've made 24 of them, I believe now. And the only reason why Sean Connery wasn't in the second one was because he didn't want to be typecast. Whoops, that happened anyway. But to me, and I think a lot of the purists of this character's movies have said that this is the more exact along the lines of this character. To me, I think the second best version of this character. Then again, I've never seen any other movie that he's ever been in, so it's kind of strange. I kind of agree with them that I think he's the more pure of the James Bonds, along those same lines. And I think he's the second best Bond. I know that's a hot take, and people are going to come at me, and I'm all about it. So go for it. On this one, I will open up my DMs for anybody who wants to have this argument with me. But my number 5 is the James Bond from the movie On Her Majesty's Secret Service, George Lazenby.
Okay. All right. So I mentioned I got a first, and here it is, because I don't think we've had this type of category or a label on this person. This is the Dutch bicyclist road athlete, Peter Wynn.
Really? Wow.
I just like how they said Dutch bicyclist road athlete.
Road athlete. Like, where else is a bicyclist?
Okay, this is gotta be a first. So
I'm like, where else is a bicyclist gonna go?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, your number 4.
So my number 4 was portrayed by Colin Farrell in a movie called American Outlaws. And I'm going to say this out loud, and if my brother's watching, he's going to say that we are, and I'm going to tell him we're wrong. We had an aunt from Texas that said that we were related by his on his mother's side, but I don't agree with it. But then I find out that his mother was formerly a Stewart, which is a family last name, and it's spelled the same. But
possibility.
It's a possibility. But then I have an aunt, a wonderful aunt by the name of Sue, that has said we are not, because she has dug in to the family tree. So it's not. But my brother still likes to claim it. My number 4.
Your brother likes to claim a lot of things.
He does. But I don't know how many bank robbers and train robbers we have had on our lists. And a couple.
The
I think
one that would jump off, the one that if we did have them yet would have been like Billy the Kid or something.
I think we did 2 weeks ago. I think it was like Butch Cassidy.
Yeah.
Um, well, we're going to go with something. We're going to go with the guy who was the leader of the James Younger gang, probably the most famous outlaw in history, especially in the Midwest, along in places like Missouri and Nebraska and Oklahoma.
Wow, did I miss it?
My number 4 is Jesse James.
Wow. Oh my God! And we do and up in Northfield here, they do a Jesse James days. So yeah, I missed that one. That is big up here. Definitely, they do a reenactment of the heist in Northfield and stuff like that. So yeah, that is a big miss there for me.
That's still not a Willie Mays miss.
No, Tony Gwynn, come on, get it right.
Did I say Willie Mays? Why did I say
You
Willie Mays?
did say Willie Mays.
I missed Willie Mays. That's what it was.
Yeah. So my number 4, I was speaking of wrestling, I actually on Sunday met his half of his tag team back in WWE NXT days. I got to meet Carlisto, so I think it's just ironic that his tag team partner's birthday was on the 5th, and that's Sikara.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I didn't think about who in the world did I miss, and then you bring up Sikara.
Well,
that makes sense. So my number 3. So far, we're not looking good on catching things.
And a big, yeah. There's at least one good one, but at least I still have not been on record to say Jerry Rice is the best San Francisco 49ers quarterback. So
yeah, I don't think he's ever thrown a pass in San Francisco history. But with that being said, my number 3 was a comedian, had a big comedic show. The funny thing is, had 2 big comedic shows in the late 70s and then the early 80s, which is funny because the season finale of his second show came back and wrapped around to his first show that he had on, where he woke up next to his wife from the first show, and then has came back, passed away. I want to say 2-3 years ago, but he became big again when he would show up on The Big Bang Theory. I for some reason I loved watching his show, both of his shows, and they were just funny. They were just wholesome and funny. My number 3 is Bob Newhart.
We're at number 3.
Yes, sir.
The phrase that pays. Yes, I have Bob Newhart. Yeah, he was big with the Newhart show. He was big, in all those, shows back in the day, and then, revitalized, popping up on Big Bang Theory. So yeah, that was fun. So you're number 2.
Well, here it comes, folks. This is where I got to start pushing hard to get my 3. So here we go. I hope everybody's ready for this, because if anybody ever looks at my Instagram, funny thing is, if anybody goes and looks at my Instagram page, there's handprints of my number 2 in Milano in a certain side street. But all of a sudden, he's come back to relevance again because of another movie that has just come out, I want to say 2 weeks ago. And I love the fact is that the sequel to that movie is his name is the name of his character twice, which means I'm guessing the trilogy is going to be saying his name 3 times, where his character is technically the original. It is technically the original Joe Henry. Say his name. He appears. Tim Burton made a very, very gutsy, very, 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 very gutsy move by casting him as Batman. My top 3. I'm already on 2, bud. My number 2, his real name is Michael Douglas. But because there is already a Michael Douglas, he went by his middle name, which he's named after Buster Keaton. My number 2 is Michael Keaton.
Well, let's keep it going. Michael Keaton, probably too, one of the better Batmans in recent years, depending on who you talk to. I think George Clooney still takes that above West, but West above him, but yeah, Michael Keaton, definitely a good actor. Definitely like the things he does. So, all right, so we'll see here because this is my guarantee that we are getting all number ones, and if we can't get the first one, we can't get all 6. So
you can't get all 6. You can't get all
so
6.
what is your number 1?
My number 1. They just did a biopic of this front man of a band. Probably the most pure voice in rock and roll, probably the most pure voice in music history between him and God, I'm not even going to say the second one because I can never remember it. But to think of the stuff that he has put out for music with a band called Queen, I think a lot of things have changed. I think the landscape has changed. And the funny thing to think that that's a big reach, bud. I'm let me get this out before I start having a long conversation about how Christian Bale is better than Val Kilmer. But my number 1 wanted Bohemian Rhapsody to be put on an album, and the producer didn't want it on there, and it becomes probably one of the biggest rock anthems for Queen. My number 1 is Freddie Mercury.
All right, well, we're 1 for 1 on getting the number 1. Freddie Mercury. And the funny thing is when I typed in this date, images came up, and Michael Keaton was my number 1. I'm like, oh, he has to be on there. So I threw him at number 1, and then going through the list, I'm like, oh, Freddie Mercury. No, he's definitely over that. So, yeah, Freddie Mercury, like you said, that Bohemian City Rap song, the documentary that they've done. I mean, if you like music, you might not be a fan of Queen or that type of music, but you got to watch that stuff. I mean, that's just amazing stuff. So, all right, so we got 3. Now we're going into the 12th, which was about 5 days ago. Just my Steiner math.
Your Steiner math, which was last week Thursday.
Yeah,
I'm doing
5 days ago.
The Steiner math.
Yeah, so this one again, I guarantee the number 1. So I'm getting 2.
Oh, I'm worried about my number 1 at this point.
I got 3. I
you
think
got 3. 1, 2, 3. I see 4. Yeah, I see.
Okay, so
and I have a list of 10, but I'm going. I can see 4.
All right, so I get to start this one. I am going to go with probably a slight curveball. Maybe it might be a good breaking curveball here. I am going at the time. I don't think anybody's beat this young gentleman in the record books. He is the youngest world boxing champion at the age of 17. Wilfred Bendez.
Yeah, that's a curveball, all right. that thing's that's a curveball. That's a 12-6 curveball coming into the back corner because I didn't see that one at all.
Yep. All right, you're number 5.
My number 5 is an actor we lost too soon. I remember him playing in a movie called Varsity Blues, where he's the character that he's the you're thinking right. He's the player that gets hurt when Billy Bob gets
Yep.
and when Billy Bob kind of lays a block
Yeah.
and then John Mox becomes the star. I still think to this day that his best movie is The Skulls with Joshua Jackson. I love that movie. That movie to me is a top 25 movie. But everybody's going to remember my number 5 because of a little thing that they need to kill off eventually. Is a series called the Fast and the Furious. I figured they killed it off when they put The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and and John Cena in it, with Hobbs versus Shaw.
I thought they killed it off.
And they put Roman Reigns in that.
I thought they killed it off and they put Bow Wow in there. I mean,
that was like the third move. That was like the second
that was
movie.
Yeah.
And then for S's and G's, they put Roman Reigns in Hobbs versus Shaw.
Yep.
Like I said, he gone way too soon over something very, very, very stupid.
Yep.
My number 5 is Paul Walker.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
go with it. You have him at 5. I have him at 4. Paul Walker, definitely. 21 years, I think it was.
That's a long time now.
Yeah.
21 years in like eight Fast and Furious movies at this point.
Yeah. No, he passed away like 21 years ago. But yeah, he was Varsity Blues.
Skulls.
Not another team movie. What was that one with him and Freddie Prinze Jr.? Yeah, he has some good roles. He had
a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, no, he was a very good actor. I forgot that he was a Varsity Blues, so you brought him up. I was just like, but just that scene in one of the Fast Furious, I'm not going to say the number because I haven't seen them all, but where him and Paul Walker, Paul Walker. Yeah, Paul Walker and Vin Diesel are driving away, and it was actually the one he died shooting. At the end there, where they're both looking at each other, and Paul Walker goes one way and Vince Diesel goes the other way.
That's 8.
Is that 8? Okay,
that's 8.
But yeah, really, he was around for 8 of them.
Oh. Yeah,
but yeah, no, that scene that they're just knowing them or what the meaning means now by it is just ironic, I guess.
Right.
So, all right, you're number 4.
All right, my number 4. Holy heck!
It's
kind of a curveball. It's kind of a Homer curveball.
Homer
curveball. This is another one of those what ifs. Paul Walker was a what if. This one's a what if too. What if the Indianapolis Colts had an offensive line? Do we not have Anthony Richardson, and do we still have my number 4? It kind of sucks because we had no offensive line. Terrible. To me, and I'm going to go on record saying this, and anybody who's a Stanford fan can come talk to me because I will set them completely straight. This is the second quarterback that we have drafted from Stanford. If most people forget that John Elway was drafted by the Colts and came from Stanford. The guy who broke basically all of Elway's records at Stanford, to be drafted by a team that drafted Elway from Stanford. I think we would have had a couple more Super Bowls if we had at least taken us to a Super Bowl at least once, because he had the weapons, you just didn't have the line. But my number 4 is a number 12. The one that I always told, I think it was you that I told that to, is that the Colts suck so much that we need to start sucking for luck. Yeah. And that was years ago, but yeah, this is the word where the Colts learned the phrase "suck for luck," and this is for the reason. My number 4 is the former first-round draft pick of the Indianapolis Colts, the first pick of the draft, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, and he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth too. I mean, he's not doing any broadcasting or nothing, and they have a talent. I mean, I would assume he's coaching somewhere, but again, he's just like
I heard
nowhere.
He's not.
I mean, he's just like nowhere.
But I think he's also under contract at Indy, so nobody can pick him up as a free agent.
True too. I am going my number 3, young lady. It just seems like she could do a lot with her career, and haven't seen her around much, but she popped up on here, so we got to throw her on there, and that's one Jennifer Hudson.
She was married to a wrestler for a while.
Yeah.
Dave Latunga.
Yep. All right, you're number 3.
My number 3, I still remember the Hall of Fame speech that Shaquille O'Neal said about my number 3, because he always talked about where he could never talk to this guy because he only knew Chinese. He thought that he didn't speak English, and he says, no, I've been speaking English for forever. Kind of, I'm paraphrasing, so it's not right, but to me, the second, I almost said, the best center to ever play in the Houston Rockets would get me killed. Probably the second best.
Yeah.
Ralph Sampson played more power forward. But to me, I think the best basketball player to come out of China, that's for bloody sure.
Yep. I miss
it's crazy. And I think and he didn't last long either. That was the other thing.
Well, because he had that. I mean, he didn't last long in the pros, but I mean,
in the NBA, but he had that Chinese league.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But my number 3 is Yao Ming.
No, that is a good one. It'd be interesting to see how he would have matched up in today's game, because he kind of shot the 3, but not accurate.
Yeah, he's better than most centers.
Yeah. So my number 2, I actually got to meet, and if you guys follow me on Facebook,
or if you've ever seen his picture,
yeah, I will not change that picture. Oh, I should say I won't change the picture, but I have, but got to make this guy laugh over a comment that his handler had when I met him. Asked my son, who was probably the age of 5 at the time, if he wanted to wear the shoulder pads. I told him no, because he didn't earn the right yet, and if anybody who puts those shoulder pads on, it's going to be me. So it's a picture of my son, me wearing those shoulder pads with Road Warrior Animal, Joseph Laurinaitis. So you're number 2.
Well, it's the phrase that pays. It's not C2C unless you're sniping. My number 2 is your number 2. I've got lucky. I got to see him wrestle in 90, 98, 97 against I want to say was it the Nation? I don't remember. No, the Nation. I can't ever remember who it was against, but and the funny thing is it was the Road Warriors. Yep. It was Tammy Stitch, Sonny was her valet for that pay-per-view, and they came out with Darren Drozdov. So this, if anybody wants to look it up, it was Over the Edge in your house, Over the Edge in Milwaukee in 97. 97, yeah. Yeah.
So the 1 or 2 times I've flown when I was younger, we moved to North Carolina, and on that plane going there was the Road Warriors and Paul Ellery, and those 2 guys took up the 2 seats themselves in each row. So those 2
big guys.
2 big dudes. All right. So we got number 1, and to keep it going, we have to have this number. We also have to have the next number 1. So I am going with the singer. Going to go with one, Mr. Barry White.
Number 6.
Oh, what is your number 1?
Oh, okay. I don't feel bad for my number 1. I really don't. My number 1 is the guy who basically personally slapped the face of Adolf Hitler during the 1936 Berlin Olympics, where he said that black athletes were inferior athletes.
Yep.
Please, if anybody's watching this, please don't take that snippet out and decide to bury me with it. But this man, again, if I'm not mistaken, went to Ohio State, which kind of turns my stomach a little bit when you find that out. But he's a four-time gold medalist in the 36 Berlin Olympics. My number one is Jesse Owens.
How did I miss that one? That is
a big picture too. It was a big picture.
Was it?
Yep.
Huh. Must have blinked or something when I was scrolling through. I don't know. All right, so we got 2. So the run for 6 number ones is out. That would have been a tough one for me because I don't know if I would have put Owens or Jesse Owens at number 1. I don't know which one I would have done. But all right, so let's go to the 17th today. Happy birthday to all those people that have birthdays today. These are 5 to 10 people that you share a birthday with if you didn't know. So
I'm doubled up twice here, just so you know.
Oh, I got double up too.
Oh no.
All right, so you're number 5. Go, or how many are we going to get?
At this point, 1, 2, 3. We could easily go 6 for 5.
Yep, I was just going to say that. I think that's where we're heading.
I think we could go 6 for 5, and one of my double ups is, I guarantee you, is yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go with your number 5.
My number 5 is a double up. You know, if you've watched this show before, I'm not afraid to put cartoon characters on here. And people, I'm going to fight them saying that, Batman and Robin are the best dynamic duo in cartoons, comic books, and everything else. I call BS. Because I'm a Batman and Robin guy, so I'm going to call BS. Born on this day, the greatest dynamic duo to ever grace the screen.
Were they really born on this day?
I'm just going with my information that I was given. What is it, 1937? Of all the bloody things. My number 5 is the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Go ahead, put it on the board.
I thought for sure you were going to have them rank 1 higher. I thought I was going to pull a Tim on a Tim, but yes, I saw that. I had the Roadrunner and I scrolled, the next line down. I'm like, oh, Coyote. Okay, we got to have these both on here. But yes, I got 1949 is what.
1949. Okay, I wasn't sure. For some reason,
Chuck
37.
Jones, created them. Definitely, top. I can't put them ahead of Batman and Robin in the duel or the I don't know. I can't put them number 1. They're up there. They're definitely top 5. But
the reason why I can say that is because Batman didn't always have Robin, but Wile E. Coyote.
You are right. You are right there. I mean, in that case, yeah, you put those 2, but yeah, I don't know. But the thing is every time you talk about, in the sports world, you always talk about, great duels. It's okay, who is so and so's Robin to their Batman? It wasn't who's their Coyote, stuff like that. So, all right, you're number 4.
Jackson's not home right now, right?
No, he's at school.
Okay, so I'm not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. I have a double up here, just so I know, so you know. To me, I think the two greatest quarterbacks in each of the respective teams.
Okay.
Mess around might not agree with me, but that's fine too. I don't really care. For the longest time, my 4B was the leading scorer in NFL history because he did everything. He was a quarterback. He was a kicker. And then you've got a guy whose dad is a former pitcher of the Minnesota Twins. Ooh. You do realize why I asked if Jackson was home, right?
I know. Now you do know.
But I think we win. I think I have, and the funny thing is, I have a 4B rookie card from from the 1973 set. Those things aren't cheap either. If you go look them up on eBay, a 4B autograph from not autograph, but his rookie card from 73 isn't cheap. But Jackson's not going to be happy that I have one of these guys at 4A. He's just not.
Well, he's not going to be happy because I didn't put the guy on there.
So my 4A, we'll rip this bandage right off right now, is Pat Mahomes, and my 4B is George Blanda.
Your 4A is one of those guys I got to respect the talent for, but I'm starting to
get annoyed.
I mean, even in his last game, depending on what side of the fence you're on. I mean, I'm fine with the call, but again, I'm fine that if they didn't call a pass interference on the defense but it just seems like, like somebody said, every time Pat Mahomes throws his hands up, they throw the flag.
That's the Tom Brady. It's the Tom Brady effect.
I know. I'm getting annoyed with it, but my number 4, I'm not going to. I mean, yes, age-wise, we lost him too soon. I mean, it's not like a Paul Walker lost too soon, which I know that probably just sounds cold-hearted, but one funny guy. This guy, he had 2 other roommates. Great show in Three's Company. Then he did a 5 Rules for Dating My Daughter, I think it was.
8 Crazy Rules for Dating My Daughter.
Yeah, which I don't know. I never got into that show, but and then he was I want to say Problem Child. Yeah, he was
Problem Child. He was a god in that movie.
Yeah. 1 John Ritter.
2, 4. You said him at 4, huh?
I have him at 4. You're number 3.
My number 3, probably. I know he's been voted number in the top 5 of most pure shooters in the NHL. Probably the greatest Washington Capital of all time. Came into the league at the same time as Sidney Crosby. Happy that he got a Stanley Cup. Happy that he didn't have to go through the Penguins to do it, but he got one. I kind of wish he'd get himself a gold medal, but that's fine. If he doesn't have to go through the United States to get it, then by all means, but that's not going to happen. But my number 3 is Alex Ovechkin.
And the thing is he's got that shot down at the bottom right corner. I don't know how anybody can stop that. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Kevin Cherry. I'm doing good, bud. Hope to catch you live on Clapper here, selling some sport cards. If you guys want to check them out, follow. Give me some information if you're into a sports card. He's on Clapper. Bought some good cards from him, so he's a good guy. Definitely a wrestling fan. So, and who knows, we may have him on a show here, someday. We've reached out. So, my number 3, if you watched our shows before, some people call him the GOAT of coaching. Some thought the documentary of a movie was made about him. But that person is no longer with this group of people. So, but he is the Zen master. He is the master of the triangle offense. Phil Jackson.
Oh, he said the Godfather was Pat Riley.
Oh, you are right. Pat Riley. You are right. Yes,
Phil Jackson. You have him at number 3. So
yep, I have him at number 3.
We're definitely not getting 5.
No.
So, my number 2 is the phrase that pays. I had to double check to see where you said, which is funny because his wife was actually on like the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Her birthday was on the 5th.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Yep.
Okay.
Amy Yazbek. But my number 2 is your number 4, John Ritter.
Yeah. Well, we do it once, we got to do it again. The phrase that pays, you have them at your 4B. I have them as my number 2. To me, outside of sweetness, if you're anything about football, he's got to be probably the second greatest. Well, one of the two greatest Bears of all time, and that's George Blanda. All right, you're number one since you killed me in going 6 for 6 at number ones. What's your number one?
I'm going to kill you again at this point, but it's the phrase that pays. It's the Zen Master himself. You have him at number 3. I have him at number 1.
Wow. Okay. So you have him at 1. So I have at my number one Hank Williams.
I saw him. I know that one.
I was waiting for a story of back in the day when me and my dad and brother would drive
I know.
go cross country to visit family. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I know.
I guess I'm not buying any lottery tickets today.
I know. I know.
I think hockey's my heart. Yeah, we Kevin, if you watch us throughout all our shows, we talk hockey very little because none of us are really hockey guys. I mean,
we don't have a hockey show.
even when hockey is on, I mean, we got one guy that's a hockey guy, and he's busy doing other things. So, yeah. So, all right. So, we ended up with 4. We didn't get our 5. All right. So now we're going to the 23rd. So these people that share the birthdays with you guys on the 23rd, happy early birthday. I hate to say it, but looking at the list that I have, I can't. I'm going to go 4 with the slight chance of 5. You're going 3.
3.
You're going to go 3?
Well, hold on. I remember I'm doubled up at 1.
I'm not doubled up at any.
I know. I have that feeling. I could have easily doubled up on another one too, but I'll give you your 4.
Okay.
I have a curveball too.
All right. Well, my number 5. We are in the NFL season. I don't know what he's doing with his team right now because I thought their team would have been better. But my number 5 is the coach for the Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh.
Yep. I agree. I picked them as my Super Bowl team, and they're choking like it's like never mind because the comment that was going to follow that was going to be a bro code comment, and it's probably better than it. But my number 5, I have one word.
Okay.
I have one word. And if I say my one word, not only will you get it, but Kevin will get it, and Randy Cox will. Don't do it don't go up because that's a whole different word. But yeah, my number 5. If I say the one word and it's not anything else, and I was really happy to see him when he tagged with Bray Wyatt. I say the one word delete. And that's all you need to know. No. My number 5 is probably one of the top 5 greatest tag. One half of probably the top 5 greatest tag teams. The number one is further up on the list, with Road Warrior.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. All right.
But my number 5 is Matt Hardy.
All right, the phrase that pays at number 4. You have them at 5. Yep. Top 5. Top 10 for sure. That might be a show we might have. I know we kind of done one before, but that might be something we have to look up one of these days to see what the internet says. But yeah, Matt Hardy at number 4. Your number 4.
My number 4. This is my curveball. As everybody except for Kevin knows, I'm living in Italy right now. So it's kind of went to a Italian thing, and I could have easily, if I want to make a look at my list, there could have been another one on here. But one of the major car companies here is Maserati. My number 4 is the founder of Maserati, Alfieri Maserati.
I actually saw him. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, well, definitely. You'll have to check it out, like you're doing now, and leave some comments. And Sunday is our Between the Ropes show. Late night. It's 11 o'clock our time. Kevin is in Minnesota too with me, so 10, 11 o'clock is when we typically do that show. But yeah. So you got Maserati at number 2, actor.
Three.
Oh, I'm at 3. Yeah.
Three.
My number 3, actor. I don't think some of his stuff would be made by now or this day and age. My number 3 is Mickey Rooney.
You said actor, and then I got him on a list. I have him at number 6.
Oh, no, Wednesday's our fantasy football show.
Yeah, we're not going to try to repeat it right now because we tend to screw it up on every show we're on.
Yeah.
It's the couch fantasy hour. Now, come watch us on Wednesday. We'll never get that right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, your number 3.
My number 3, well, it's the phrase that pays. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 3 is your number 5. I could have easily doubled up and put Marty Schottenheimer on this list as well. But, John Harbaugh won a Super Bowl in 2012 when the lights went out funny thing is the lights went out in New Orleans, not in Georgia, against his brother. But, yeah, I think that's the only reason why he's on this list is because he won a Super Bowl. If he didn't, he'd be doubled up with Marty Schottenheimer at 5.
Yep. All right, so number 2 for me. If you got the nickname the boss, you got to be on the list because you're there. I guess you got that iconic symbol. Bruce Springsteen. You're number 2.
When you said actor at number 2, when you brought up Mickey Rooney,
yeah,
I was thinking a different direction.
Uh-oh.
I went a different direction. I was thinking you were going to catch me at number 3 with my number 2. Became huge star, being an employee for the New York Yankees under George Steinbrenner in a TV series about nothing.
You went him.
And became such a huge household name after that. And I enjoy everything he does. And I can't stand Seinfeld, but I can stand my number 2 because he plays every role just out the teeth. My number 2 is Jason Alexander.
Yeah, I can't discard his. I don't know. He's got to have that role for me. I think. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's good at what he does. It just doesn't move the needle for me. My number 1. You said you have another double up, right? Because I'm getting kind of worried. All right. Well, my number 1. When you talk to music world, he's definitely one that we all know. He was portrayed by probably one of the best actors to portray him, and that's all I can see him now doing. And that the actor that portrayed him was oh God, his name just slipped my mind.
Willie Beeman.
Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx. And that's one Ray Charles. You're number 1.
I'm going to make you feel real happy right now. It's not C2C unless you're sniping. This is a double up. My 1A is your number 1. My 1B is your number 2.
All right. Well, that's good. Double up on the double up there. So, yeah, we'll do a double the time. So, Ray Charles, Bruce Springsteen. I was kind of getting worried there. I'm like, Bruce Springsteen. And then I remembered you had the double up. I'm like, okay. All right. All right. So, let's move to the 26th this month. I'll tell you right now, I got women on here, all but 1 spot.
All but 2.
Okay.
So I'm gonna at least say 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3, and I will kind of be disappointed if you miss my mail.
Oh, what? Oh, now you put pressure on me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna fold like Bryce Young. I may
All
have
right.
missed it.
Well, let's go with number 5.
Well, you were looking for a story earlier about how when my family used to go visit other family members
Yep.
across the state.
Yep.
Um,
Wrong date. I was looking for the story on, but we'll still
wrong
go with the
date,
story.
wrong date, but you're still getting the story. We grew up a country family. We grew up and which is funny now if you listen to us. Pretty much we don't listen to country that much anymore. But one of our favorite artists is my number 5. He did a little song called El Paso, and he's done a couple things. He's also done a couple songs for a video game called Fallout, which I absolutely love the entire soundtrack for. But my number 5 is Marty Robbins.
My number 5. Okay. I just want to make sure. My number 5. I'm not going to go into political because we try to avoid that. But knowing the name, knowing the country, knowing the backstory, got to be on there, especially if you're a history buff. And that's the wife of Mr. Mandela, Winnie Mandela.
Yeah, that's the only one I didn't put on. I
Yeah.
saw it. I saw it. That's the only one I didn't put on.
Yeah. All right, you're number 4.
My number 4 was one half of a TV show that used to come on. Now, if you watch football in the 80s on CBS, there used to be a TV show called Beauty and the Beast, which was funny because one of the people, the one that played the Beast was oh, now I'm going to be is Ron. Oh crap! Now my mind is just gone. Uh, I, I can see him. I can, it's because he was in Sons of Anarchy. He was in Ron Perlman. I knew it, but he played the Beast, so he was in thick makeup. And my number 4 is the female actor that worked across them. But most people know my number 4 from a movie series, which is funny because she has a twin sister. I have no clue who her twin sister is, or she would have been on this list too. She plays her twin sister is her. She would have been. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
Now I gotta look up to see who her twin sister is.
Which
Go
is terrible.
ahead.
Which she played her stand-in plus her stunt double in a movie series called Terminator series. My number
Okay.
4 is the original Sarah Connor herself, Linda Hamilton.
All right. Have I seen?
Have you seen Terminator?
No, I've seen Terminator.
Is that what you were gonna? Was that what you were just about to ask? If I seen
No,
Terminator?
I clicked on her sister because her sister is Leslie Hamilton Guerin.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen her in a movie. Well, it's the twins; they're gonna look alike. All right. So my number 4, the phrase that pays. We both have her at number 4. I remember watching the Beauty and the Beast TV series, but I'm just like, she played Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so it must have been the animated one. And then when you said it was TV series, I'm like, oh, that's right, she did play in the TV series. I forgot all about that. All right, you're number 3.
My number 3. I'm matter of fact, I'm watching a show right now with the wife with my number 3 on the show. He plays a character by the name of John Reese, which is funny because John Reese is the name of the character of the person who goes back in time in Terminator. But I digress. I absolutely love this show called Person of Interest. Again, I think it was a show on CBS. We keep finding the CBS shows. He played in this really great movie where he plays the son of Dennis Quaid in a movie called Frequency, where he has conversations of an old ham radio going back in time, having conversations with his dad back in the past. But I absolutely love this movie. But my number 3 became the big claim to fame because he played a character in a movie directed by Mel Gibson.
Okay.
And I thought this would be a great idea when I was living in a town called Escanaba, Michigan, that I would go see this movie on Easter, which is kind of hilarious when you realize what the movie was that I saw. My number 3 played a small little pivotal role in this movie called The Passion of the Christ. He played the small little role of Jesus Christ. Small little role in a movie about the Passion of the Christ. But my number 3 is Jim Caviezel.
Nope.
Not
Nope.
your guy. Awesome.
Nope, not my guy. And you're gonna kick yourself because we're gonna have a story about this one. My number 3 is probably one half of the dynamic sister duels in the world of tennis. Between who you talk about, she's either number 1 or number 2, and it also depends on the year, probably the title they're going for. But to watch these two play as doubles or even against each other drew ratings no matter what fan base you are, and that's Serena Williams.
So I know who your number 1. My number 2, and now I know who your number 1 is. I can guarantee you at this point, I know who your number 1 is.
Well, I tried guaranteeing all 6, and you screwed that up on the 12th. So
I guaranteed that a while ago. I screwed that up a while ago.
Yeah.
My number 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is your number 1. A small little Australian girl that was in a movie in a movie with I want to say Gene Autry. No, not Gene Autry. Sure, you can have all the opinions you want.
Yeah, we'll answer a lot of questions on here. So,
but she was in this little movie that was written. The music was written by the Bee Gees, but she played opposite of this guy, who played Danny Zuko in a movie called.
I have her at number 2. Oh.
Yeah. And Xanadu. She did Xanadu, and then she did this movie called. Oh, now I can't even remember the movie. How big is that? How bad is that? Thank you, Grease. And I saw the worst thing I saw the 25th anniversary one at this theater. But my number 2 is Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, there's what out of the Pink Ladies and the T-Birds, 3 have passed away?
Stalker Channing's still alive. I know. No, I think she's the only one that's dead.
No, I thought
Stalker's still alive. Rizzo's still alive.
Rizzo, that's who I thought passed away.
No, she's still alive.
You might be right.
Yeah, she's
actually the guy that passed away was the other, not the T-Bird member. Yeah.
Kaneki is the one that passed away.
All right, so my number 2. So Tim's got stories about music. I got a story about music.
This already.
All right, so Caleb Williams, I think, has been a terrible quarterback. Yeah. We'll see. A couple games in, but yeah, he has not looked to be the number 1 pick. I still say the Bears have given up on Fields way too soon, but
I agree. Completely agree. He's still better than Bryce.
So my number 2, Tim, me and you met at a little club, Night Moods, where we played foosball together. I ended up starting to do a DJ up there because they needed somebody, so I started. And I always closed the show the night.
No, that's Tony.
With a certain song of this group. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Who in the world did I miss?
And you missed 1/4, well, now 1/3, but 1/4 of the member of Boys to Men, Sean Stockman.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I didn't see it.
Yeah. And if you guys follow me on Facebook page, that's my background, and I will never change that picture.
Yeah, didn't see it.
So, all right. You're number one, because I'm kind of curious on what your number one is now.
My number one, it's the phrase that pays. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number one is your number three.
Wow, you have Serena Williams over Olivia
You have a
Newton-John.
you have a crush on Olivia Newton-John, so
Oh, wow.
you have a thing for Olivia Newton-John. I knew I wasn't getting you. I knew you had
No,
to have
yeah, she's up there. She's definitely up there. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so we got the 29th, and then we got our list that we'll break down.
Who is your number one? Just so
Oh,
everybody knows.
I'm sorry. I thought I did my number one. My number one is your number two, Miss Olivia Newton-John. Yes, she pretty much when I heard she passed away, that was probably the second or third time I got choked up and was just speechless on when a person passed away. You know,
Yeah, it definitely shocked me.
yeah. So, all right. So we're going to the 29th. I got a double up here. This one was kind of hard, so I'm gonna go on a slim chance here that we're gonna go 3. I think.
I'll tell you, I have 9 on my list.
Oh, geez.
It wasn't that hard for me, but I've got a curveball. 3. I think we could go. I think 4 is a possibility.
4 is a possibility. So, well, I will kick it off with the comedian. I know I've seen some of his work. It just doesn't stand out, but just the name itself.
I'll tell you right now, 3.
3. All right. My number 5 is Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, that was the reason why he just kept dropping down the list. He's like,
Right.
I don't like his stuff, but I know exactly who he is.
Yeah, exactly. You're number 5.
My number 5 is my curveball. Yeah, we kind of have this saying. You have to be the first.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to be the first. Don't necessarily want to know if you want to have the world record for this. But it's kind of scary that you have to weigh 1,400 pounds. It's kind of really scary. My number 5 is the world record holder for the largest man in recorded history at 1,400 pounds. My number 5 is John Brower Minock.
1,000 pounds?
1,400 pounds.
God, I just can't. I mean, I'm a big dude. I just can't imagine, even when I met the Big Show, that dude's a big dude. He didn't look that big, but I mean, so that's like 3 Big Shows standing next to each other. Wow. Props to you on that one. Yeah, that's that big, beautiful curveball that you just breaks out of nowhere. Yes, that is a good one. Well, my number 5, if you follow baseball, you know the history, you know this guy, and this is probably the only reason why you know this guy, because towards the end of his career, he couldn't field. And if he got a hit, it was either a home run, or if he got an out, it was most likely a strikeout. And I think he's got the lowest batting average for a full-time player, under 200, I believe. I could be wrong. I wish J-Mac was here because he would correct me. That's 1, Rob Deere.
Why? There was like 6 things. There was 6. You had to pick the Milwaukee Brewer. And then it was so weird because I looked at
I forgot he played for Milwaukee. I was thinking of him.
He was drafted by Milwaukee. He was drafted by Milwaukee.
I know. I just remember him as a Detroit Tiger. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he went to Detroit after Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And it was like I looked at that list. I'm looking at this list going, I could have put Milwaukee Brewer here. I could have put Milwaukee Brewers in 5 spots. And I was like, that just seems too easy.
All right. You're number 3.
My number 4. Yeah. Which is weird because you're supposed to start. But my number 4, I'm going to go into the music world.
Okay.
Actually, that was your number 4.
That was Rob Deere was my number 4. Yep.
Your number 4. Rob Deere was your number 4. Okay, cool. Yep. Then you were right. I'm wrong. My number 4, we're going to talk about a rock and roll pianist. I want to enunciate that right before we have to have a disclaimer. Before we have to have another disclaimer in front of our show because Tim can't speak properly. But that's okay. Was known for a long time. Again, another person who was portrayed by Dennis Quaid in a movie called Great Balls of Fire, but was known for playing the piano with his feet. We're not going to talk about the fact is that he married his 13-year-old cousin until we just did. But my number 4 is Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, wow. At 4, I wonder who. I'm kind of curious now. How this going to wrap up here? My number 3 is my double up. We're going to the hard court. 1 is, part of the. I don't know if he was there for all 6, but I know he's there for a couple of them. With the Chicago Bulls. I think now he's some kind of GM or front office person for them. Was a coach, I believe, for them. I could be wrong on that too. The other guy, I just think needs just to go away because it just seems like his ego's gotten the best of him. And if he would put it aside, he would have many more rings than he should have. 1A or 3A is John Paxton. My number 3B is Kevin Durant.
We'll make this easy for you.
All right, you're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. We've got the phrase that pays. I don't have John Paxson, but I do have Kevin Durant.
All right. My number 2. If you guys watched a show that we do Wednesday nights, Sports Minute, we used to do a little trivia that Ace would throw up there, and every time he would say, "Oh, Brandon, you got an easy one here," I would go and pull a Dragon Viper almost and just kind of just blow up the softball pitch right down the middle, with the big red bat. I would swing and miss. This guy, for some reason, I don't know why, but I put his name and another name together for the Detroit Lions as the greatest receiver of all time, and I don't know why I messed it up, but and the clue was Megatron, and I just could not put the name together. And I said the right first name and the wrong last name.
You said Calvin Morgan.
No, I said Calvin Rogers. I think it was who I said. Yeah, I put them both together, and my number 2 is Detroit wide receiver legend Calvin Johnson.
So, we have this thing called the phrase that pays.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not C2C unless for anybody who's new to the show, that the phrase that pays is it's not C2C unless you're sniping. Well, my number 2 is your number 2.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll go with the phrase that pays for the third time in this category. My number 1 is your number 4, Jerry Lee Lewis.
So, I can hear you worried about something.
Yeah. What is your number 1?
My number 1 is a guy who crosses both music and sports. Not in that way. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you watch for. I know what you watch for Christmas shows during Christmas, but there's always one that shows up on CBS.
Okay.
Called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yep.
Right? Okay. We get that, and if it wasn't for my number 1, we don't have that. Okay. We don't have that TV show because he's the one that wrote and sang the song. Well, everybody else seems to have forgotten that before Disney bought the California Angels, it was owned by the person who wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But most people also remember that he was also used to do Westerns for the longest time, and he used to sing a song called Back in the Saddle Again. You're confused, aren't you?
I'm just trying to think of who sings that song now. I know I've heard it.
Right. So, and you always talk, and you talk about that the California Angels need to go back to becoming, or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim need to go back to be called the California
Yes,
Angels.
they do.
And I blame Disney for changing that name because that's who owned the team before they changed the name. Well, my number one is the singer songwriter of Back in the Saddle Again, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and is the former owner of the California Angels, Gene Autry.
Wow, I forgot he owned them. Okay. Good one. Good pull there. I like that pull. So, all right. So we always end the show. Tim, we're coming up on 2 years of doing the show.
I know, right?
I
It took me. I had to go through notebooks.
October, right? End of October we started?
I want to say so.
No, I think so. So we close out the show with the list.
End of October, right? Like the week before November.
Yeah, that is the end of October. You are correct.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a list here of the top 20.
Oh shoot.
TV families.
Oh gosh.
The list comes from listchallenges.com. So it's one of those where you can, move them up and down, I believe. So there's actually a list of 60, but
oh thank God.
But I'm gonna do 20 here. The Clampetts at number 20.
Yeah, that should be higher up. I think that's a top 15 family, but
the Kerrigans.
Okay,
I think they were in Dynasty. I think kind of.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's Dynasty.
Yeah. Camdens. Nope. I know the TV show too, and I can't think of them right now. Number 15 or 17, which I think this is definitely a top 10 family, and this TV show would not be made today, but I want them to do a reunion show. The Bundys.
Yeah, that should be these top 10.
Number 16, the Bradfords.
That's 8 is enough.
Number 15, the Blunts, Bluths.
The Bluths. That's Arrested Development.
Okay. Number 14, the Bellamys.
The Bellamys. What the hell?
That looks like a 70s TV show-ish.
I don't know. They should be lower. If I don't know them,
Yeah.
they should be lower.
Yeah. Number 13, again, a top. I mean, there's.
No, I know who the Bellamys. Now I think about it. Now I think I know who the Bellamys are. Was that too close for comfort?
I don't think so.
No. Then yeah, they should be lower.
Yeah, number 13, which I think should be in the top 10.
The Brady's.
The Bankses.
That should be a lot higher. Well, yeah. Top 15. Now, top 15 is respectable.
Yep. Number 12, the Arnolds from
Different Strokes.
Nope. Wonder Years.
That I think flip the Banks and the Arnolds.
I could go with that. The Andersons back in the day. I don't know what TV show it is, but it's black and white.
Which Andersons was that? Father's Knows Best.
That might be. I'm not positive. Number 10. We're in the top 10. The Waltons.
Yeah. That's one that should be there.
Number 9, coming up on Halloween here, the Addams Family.
Yeah, I agree there. That's a good one.
Number 8, the Cleavers.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for a couple names to come up, and I haven't heard them yet.
Number 7, the Ewings from Dallas.
Yeah, I have to agree there.
Number 6, the Connors.
I think that should be higher, but you're 6. No, 6 is respectable.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably drop them a little bit.
I'm waiting for like 5 major ones that haven't come yet.
The Borns from Everybody Likes Raymond.
Oh, that should change. That's
number 5.
That should go down. That should really be lower.
Number 4, another TV show that will not be made in today's politically correct. The Bunkers.
Yeah, that should be lower, but yeah, I agree.
Number 3, The Sopranos.
Wow, I still haven't heard the names that I'm looking for.
Oh, well, we got 2 chances.
Yeah.
Number 2, The Huxtables.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be there. That one was no question. I still haven't heard a couple names.
And the number 1 family on the
this has got to be the Brady's. This has to be the Brady's.
The Brady's.
Okay. They're missing one. They're missing a big one. They're missing the Simpsons. They're missing the Simpsons.
Let's see here. Simpsons, number 51. All right, so we got Malcolm's Family in the 40s, The Munsters at 42, wow. Partridge Family 44.
That should be higher too.
Let's see here. The Stanford and Son should be higher, I think. That's at 50.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I like the Tanners, but they got them at 53.
They need to be. I think they need to be a little higher. I think they need to be inside the top 30.
This is funny. They got 3 different families of the Taylors.
Okay, the Home Improvement
54, 53, or 54, 55, 56. 56 is Home Improvement.
56 is Home Improvement?
Yeah.
Taylors. Which Taylors am I missing?
Taylor's from the old where they're walking the
Andy Griffith Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the other Taylors, I don't know who the other Taylors are.
I can see that.
Beverly Hills 90210, the Walshes.
The Walshes, yeah. That's probably I didn't watch
59. I will disagree with this one. I mean, this one should be higher up, top 20. In fact, the Winslows.
Yeah, that should be a lot higher.
And then the 60th TV family, the Whites. I don't know.
The Whites.
Yeah.
From the Whites. From Shameless?
No, I don't think it's Shameless, but yeah. So yeah, that was that's the list from the list challenge.com, top 60 greatest TV shows of all time.
There's families in there that we're missing. I know it, and it's
well, that's the 60 of them. So, but yeah, there was another list I was trying to look for too that had actually The Simpsons as the number 1 TV family.
Well, yeah, it's so strange that The Simpsons aren't in the top 20.
Yeah,
it's they've been around longer than any other family in TV history, yet they can't even crack the top 20.
Well, the other Taylors was Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay. Lights. That one's going to bother me. I think that's Shameless, but
let's see here. I'm just looking at a couple other lists here to see maybe if those families would rank out. This one, okay, just a quick one here. 15, familyminded.com. Best 15 TV families. Number 15, the Brady Bunch.
Yep. I still agree with it. Top 15 because we're going to be looking at a.
That is number 15.
Wow,
the Hungans, the fresh off the boat, must be an overseas one.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I never heard of them. The Connors at 13.
That's
Gilmore's at 12.
Gilmore Girls, yeah.
Number 11, the Tanner family from Full House.
Yeah, see, now they're thinking.
Huxtables at number 10.
That's low. That's low.
Everybody Loves Raymond's Family at number 9.
Still Barone. Yeah, no.
That number 8, the Arnolds.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they consider them a family, but we know they're not. The Golden Girls. They had all 4 of them. Yeah.
The only ones that are family is
The mother
Sophia and Dorothy.
Yeah. I would not at 7.
No, not
The
even close.
Callaways from Dante's Abbey.
Downton Abbey. I didn't watch that.
They're at 6. Adam's Family at 5. The Persons. This Is Us. That family. That's a good TV show. I haven't watched it.
I haven't seen it, but I heard good things.
4. The Modern Family. They got.
I heard that's a good show too.
That is a good show. And the number 2, Fishers from 6 Feet Under.
Never saw it.
Yep. And number 1 family from this family minded, The Simpsons at number 1.
The Simpsons.
So with
it's
that
nice. It's nice to see the Brady Bunch getting the love that it should, even though it's been off the air since the 70s.
Yep. So with that being said, guys, give us a shout out tomorrow, 3:30 Central. The Coaches Fantasy Zone.
The Couch's family. See, Kevin. This is why we don't.
The Couch family. Yes, you are right. God. Yes.
The moment we put ourselves on the spot.
Yeah. We'll definitely break down week 2 quickly on the fantasy wise and who you should play and not play in week 3. And who knows, maybe if our new friend Kevin here has time, we'll send him the link. He can jump on and give us another perspective and play our little game for fantasy football. But with that being said, Tim, final thoughts.
I have to revamp my whole team after this week because it seemed like everybody got put on the IR.
Oh, really? You hit that button.
Oh, I had Pacheco. CMC. I had Addison. Somehow I still won 3 games out of this week, so I don't know.
Oh wow! I
won a game where I started. What was that kid that it wasn't? I couldn't do anything about it. There was a wide receiver that started, and I couldn't change him because I had no wide receivers. Other than that, fun time. What is we got? Entertainment hour tonight?
No, tonight is Tuesday. We'll see what the guys do. They typically do like a late night. Callan and James. I know their guys is
like an entertainment hour.
Yeah, kind of like kicking it, but more serious topics and stuff like that. Tomorrow, of course, the Couch Fantasy Zone, along with Sports Minute. Thursday, kicking it, hopefully. Friday is Entertainment Hour, along with, I think, On Deck. And then Sunday, if I get a chance, Morning Tailgate. If not, you'll see Chris and the Prime Moose there breaking down week 2 and breaking down the picks for week 3. So,
if you happen to miss our shows, don't be afraid to look at our. Go ahead and look at our page on Facebook. Yep. We are on YouTube as well. Yep. So don't be afraid to give us a look there.
Yep, exactly. So with that being said, and if you guys you guys enjoyed the show and want to see us break down topics or want a show based on something, let us know. We'll do what we can. But with that being said, we'll see y'all next week on C2C Rankem. Have a good one.